Alright guys, so today on what to do, I'm doing an AC compressor in a Ford F350 Super Duty 6.2 gasoline motor. This is a 2015. I got the new compressor here, and I'm going to just start off by saying that I actually have not done a lot of these compressors. So I did research a lot, and I've learned a lot about different things from different people, and I like learning new stuff, so I figured I would do a video on this, on just some of the stuff that I had learned. And so this new one here came with a little pink sticker on it. Okay, and this sticker basically says this compressor is pre-charged. That beep is going to happen a lot. I apologize, there's something wrong with the alarm. This compressor is pre-charged with 3 ounces of oil. You must add the recommended amount and type. Scan the QR code for the specific oil type and charge. And there's a little QR code right there. This particular unit calls for this PAG 46, and it's also with the R134A. Now, with the evolution of automobiles and engines and stuff, you want to make sure that you do get the right kind of oil and the right kind of lubricant, refrigerant, because the refrigerant basically is what carries the lubricant through the system, and they both got to mesh. So it doesn't, sometimes they will be different. They're not always going to be the same. So you definitely want to research your vehicle. Now, this comes with 2 plugs here. They said it was already filled with 3 ounces of oil. But as much as this thing costs and the headache it was to get this thing out, don't know if I want to trust that they actually put 3 in there. Maybe there's only 2 ounces, maybe there's only 1 ounce. So I'm going to go ahead and drain it and just add my own 3 ounces to this. So I had already started draining it, and I saw a lot of other guys just go like this, dump it for about 30 seconds, and then tilt it back up and say, okay, it's empty. You really need to, and I had already drained this once, but I'm going to show you. I had this upside down for 15 minutes already, and look, there's still fluid coming out of there. So you really need to hold this upside down. I would say this is probably going to be a good 45 minutes to an hour to get all that out. It might not look like it's pouring out, and it's not going to pour out because there's only 3 ounces in there. It's going to drip out, but over a half hour of dripping, that might accumulate 2 ounces. And if you just flip and go like this and think you got it all empty, well, guess what? You're going to overfill this, and you're going to end up blowing this thing out. And you're going to go through all that headache and have to rip it out again. So just make sure you leave it upside down for a good 45 minutes or so and walk away from it and make sure everything is out. I did notice by turning the pulley in the clutch here that see even more comes out when I do that. But that's one tip I wanted to give you there. Alright, so I am going to I still have more coming out, so we're going to let this sit. Alright guys, I'm back. It appears that we got all the oil out of there. I just ran out and got some coffee, and that gave me enough time to drain that. So I do not have a measuring cup, but this particular AC compressor calls for 4 ounces, and there was 3 that came from the factory, but me, I drained it all out. I didn't want to trust that the factory was accurate and have to rip it out. So I didn't have a measuring cup, but I got a 3-ounce container here. I actually used a Red Max 2-stroke container, and yes, I did rinse it out really good. This is approximately 3 ounces. So I filled up my Red Max container with this PAG 46 oil. All right, and what I'm going to do is on the top of this, you have your 2 holes, your low and your high ports. All right. So I'm going to take approximately half of the bottle here, and I'm going to pour half in one port and half into the other port. And when you are pouring this, be careful because it will bubble back up on you, and then you're going to lose some of that spilling it, and then that's going to throw your measurement off, okay? So now what you want to do after you have your oil in there is you want to rotate this probably a good 10 times or so. Not just the pulley, but make sure you're spinning this clutch in the front also, because if you look down inside, you will see it rotating in there, and that's just to get the system nice and lubricated and primed up here. So now the oil is back in the system. I'm going to go ahead and put these little caps back on, and I'm going to leave them on until I get that damn beeping noise, until I get this actually in the vehicle, because when you get under there, you're going to have this thing all kinds of ways. You can have oil spilling out on you, so if you don't have these caps, you may want to find something to plug them up, and something clean that you're not going to get debris down in there. But that's plugged up, and now what you want to do is, now that you had spun this a couple of times, tilt this forward. There is a front seal here inside of this compressor, and you want to make sure that the oil gets up into there and lubricates that seal, because if you don't, what can happen is you can hook this up and you can pretty much burn that seal out if you don't get it lubricated. All right, so we want to turn this up, face up. All right, and we just want to try to get that oil to drip down in there onto that seal. All right, it's going to be hard to turn this, and you probably can't turn it because you got these plugged right now. Okay, so with the pressure, it's not going to allow you to turn that. But just hold it like this for a little while, a good minute or two, and let the oil all get down into this area. Okay, because when you had it like this and you filled it up, yeah, you filled it up in here, and when you were turning this, you lubricated all in here. But what you need to do is tilt this up so that your oil will come down here and now lubricate all down here in this seal, in this area. All right. After you get this mounted into the truck, you want to start the truck up, let it idle, and turn your AC on maybe 10 to 12 times. Turn it on, turn it off. And basically that's just in case there's any burrs or any glazing, anything on the front of this. It will work that out. We'll work all that stuff out of there, and get this spinning nice and smooth and freely and stuff. And that's pretty much all the tips that I have right now. I was going to do a whole video on taking this thing out, and it was just so much, and I couldn't get the camera in there. But if you want to email me any questions about getting this out and putting it in, I watched a lot of videos of guys doing the job, and some of these guys were just dismantling their whole truck, and I didn't have to go through all that. I didn't have to take the fender wheel well out. I didn't have to take off radiator hoses or anything like that. So if you are doing an F350 or an F250 and you want some tips, feel free to reach out to me. It's whattodurob@gmail.com. Just for me taking the time out, if you could, I'm still trying to get my subscribers up. Just hit the subscribe button below and give me a like. I do a lot of different videos daily on trucks, heavy equipment, all types of stuff. So, all right, I'll see you next time.